Edward Austin Taylor was the third child of Eleanor Agnes and Edgar Litchfield Taylor, born December 30th, 1920. He grew up in Merrimack, New York with his two older sisters, Eleanor and Edna. He was an excellent student and was promoted twice, graduating high school at the age of 16 and entering Fordham University. After college, he worked for General Electric before enlisting in the Navy during World War II from 1942 until 1945, obtaining a rank of lieutenant and returning to General Electric in 1945. During that time, he met and married Ida K. Herbermann, and together they had three children, Catherine, Patricia, and Barbara. In 1950, Taylor took a position with Nestle Company and was selected to attend an immersive 10-month course of study in Switzerland, founded by Nestle in coordination with the Harvard Business School. He worked his way up to become the manager of new products, promoting such major brands as Nestle's Decaf, Choco Bake, and the 100 Grand Candy Bar.
One of the first words that came to mind was intelligent. He was a very bright man. I think another is that he was very impressive. People knew when he walked into the room. I mean, he wasn't trying to seek attention, but physically he was large, and he carried himself well. And probably the third word is strong-willed. When he saw something he wanted to do, he used his will to try to make it happen.
In 1964, he was hired as the Director of Commercial Development at the Florida Citrus Commission and was the first person ever hired there to market citrus. It was a big switch to go from a large corporation to working for a public entity like the Florida Department of Citrus.
I think when he first came in, and it would be true of most of the corporate guys, you know, they're used to dealing, depending on what their position is in the company. If they're the COO, they're used to dealing with the CEO, and that's pretty much it. Now, you have a board, but the two officers are really taking care of most of the business, whereas in the public service type activity, depending on what the organization is, you've got tens, hundreds, thousands of people that are technically feeding in and wanting things done, and you can't just go do what you would do if you were the CEO. And so that was quite a change for Ed to adjust to that kind of operation. And likewise, the government people, it was a change for them to respond to the way he wanted to operate as near a corporate type as you can.
As the first commercial development director, he believed that the most important immediate function of the commercial development department is its responsibility for planning new marketing strategies. Marketing strategies designed to expand the usage of our present products, both in their present markets and in new markets. Such an assignment involves an investigation of every function of marketing.
But as importantly, increased consumption. And during his tenure, he set the bar that only a few could successfully follow.
When Homer Hooks resigned his position as general manager the following year to go to the phosphate industry, Taylor was promoted to the position. He was the first Florida Department of Citrus FDOC executive director that had a professional marketing experience, and he continued to structure programs based on solid market research.
When I worked for Mr. Ed Taylor, it became very clear that he was marketing driven and marketing focused.
Taylor was responsible for bringing in a staff of men who were prominent marketing leaders at the time, and under his direction, they created numerous creative marketing programs, such as the iconic Breakfast Without Orange Juice is Like a Day Without Sunshine campaign, Florida OJ, The Real Thing, the Florida Sunshine Tree symbol, which is still in use today, hiring Anita Bryant to be the spokesperson for the Florida citrus industry, and establishing a school marketing program for Florida OJ.
I think one of the things that Ed did that deserves attention is staff-wise. He brought in a couple of guys that really had tremendous marketing backgrounds like he did. Ed, of course, came from Nestle's corporation. But he brought in Doug Hoffer, And Doug had been director of marketing for Arnold Bakery and for PepsiCo. Pretty heavy hitter.
School lunch program, we call it. And there was a special marketing order put in place by the commission to pay for that as an additional program besides what was being paid in the way of tax monies otherwise.
Taylor was also the first to work on the away-from-home market, as he created a food service program that had McDonald's highlighting Florida orange juice as part of its breakfast menu for the very first time.
So McDonald's was the challenge, you know. They were the best of the best. And so if you could have landed an account with McDonald's, and it worked beautifully. Remember, at that time, McDonald's was 100% U.S. grown. The beef patties, U.S. beef. The eggs, U.S. beef. And what better beverage to supplement that menu was 100% Florida orange juice. So it was a really nice partnership, and one that we were able to, under Mr. Taylor's direction, leverage.
He also marketed Florida grapefruit and frozen concentrated orange juice internationally through participation in third-party cooperation plan with the United States Department of Agriculture, which still exists today.
So during Mr. Ed Taylor's tenure as executive director during the Department of Citrus, his job was to expand the market, not only in the United States, but for the first time, seek additional shipments, increase consumption of Florida orange juice internationally. And this is one time where Ed embraced the opportunity to work with United States Department of Agriculture to secure a grant through the Market Access Program.
Disney, they came to the commission and wanted to know if we wanted to have one of the exhibits in the original Walt Disney World. And we did decide to do that. And that became very beneficial from us from the standpoint, along with the Tiki Bird show, there was a reception room that was for our use. And so that we could have promotional contests out among supermarkets, chains, and so maybe a guy and his family win a trip to Disney and courtesy of the commission, and then that day they could go in and rest at the reception room, which was a real relief, you know, from walking the park all day long. And the Disney told us that there were times when the ticket sales through that reception room were second only to Disney organization itself.
Some of our ad campaigns, celebrity campaigns, we had Nancy Lopez, a golfer, promoting orange juice. I think Arturo Toscanini is, you know, it's not for breakfast anymore. And who else? Arnold Palmer was one, and several others.
By the mid-70s, the Commission had 53 partnerships in 10 countries in Europe and Eastern Europe, and eventually added Scandinavia and Japan. His emphasis on marketing also led to the FDOC sponsoring free juice at the Florida Welcome Centers, the Citrus Bowl celebrity campaigns, bringing TV shows to Florida, the Sunshine Pavilion at Walt Disney World, and Disney's creation of the much-loved orange bird character to help promote orange juice. His dedication to the Florida citrus industry and his strong, aggressive marketing program was developed and implemented with his oversight and his hands-on supervision during a period of unparalleled growth in the industry. Under his leadership, Florida citrus became a staple in the American diet and in the diets in many other countries throughout the world as a result of his efforts.
I think my father was very good at what he did, and that he did things well, and he always tried to do things the right way for the right reasons, and certainly one of those was the continuing promotion of the citrus industry.
He'd come out of a group where there was a lot of, you know, activity in consumer marketing in particular, that someone like him had a lot to contribute to the industry. And I think the industry respected him for that.
He was the right man at the right time and in the right place.
Yeah, Ed Taylor deserves to be here. You bet he does.
Therefore, we are proud to honor those efforts as we welcome Edward Austin Taylor to the Florida Citrus Hall of Fame.